My name is Bonnie Dillard. I am a nurse practitioner, and I have been a member of Downtown since 2004. I had a very large debt problem, credit card debt problem, and I didn't realize that it was really a spiritual problem, a symptom of a spiritual problem. I got into credit card debt because I had a strong desire to fit in wherever I was. When I left my parents' home, moved out on my own, I was able to get credit cards pretty easily, and I used them frequently. Whatever group I was in, I sized up what the group wanted and what they did so that I could fit in. I bought what they bought. If we traveled, they traveled, then I traveled. It didn't matter if I had to use credit cards to do it. Over time, it rolled into consolidation loans, and just moving along from group to group, changed what I had to buy, but I still had to fit in. That was my problem. I went to grad school in 1997 to become a nurse practitioner. When I graduated, I assumed I'd be able to take care of the debt that I had accumulated. But I used my credit cards to go to school. I made too much money as a nurse, as an RN, to qualify for loans or grants, and so I just used my credit cards. I got out of school, got a good job, had a good salary, but also needed to have all the things that go along with that. I immediately bought an SUV. I went on a trip to Europe as soon as I could, and then realized one day that I was in debt and I couldn't get out. I was drowning. At that point, I was $50,000 in credit card debt. So that didn't include my house or my car, $50,000. How I got out of debt is that I have a friend, a spiritual mentor friend for 25 plus years, who also happens to be an accountant, and we've struggled through many struggles with me, and I just took my what I owed and what I made to her, and we laid it out on her kitchen table, and we both cried because it was the startling realization of just how bad it had gotten. I think we both knew it was a spiritual issue, but it didn't come crystal clear until that moment, at least not to me. And we immediately started planning how I was going to get out of debt. And the first thing that I wanted to do, and what she felt like I needed to do, was to give to God first. The budget started with I would give 10% of my salary right off the top when I got paid, and everything else had to be a budget in order to get it paid off. I was spending $90 a month at McDonald's. It was a huge realization that I had an extra $90 I didn't even know I was spending. I turned off my cable. I sold my SUV, and I bought the lowest stripped down, I didn't have electric windows, model of a car. I refinanced my house. I sold tons of stuff, the stuff that I'd been accumulating that was in my house. I sold that. Lots of yard sales, and just sticking to the budget of you have this much money to spend on this thing, and when that is used, you're done. And that's how you do it, is just sticking with it. It wasn't as hard to stick to the plan and budget as I had anticipated, because I was pleasing God, and I felt full of His Spirit at that point. I felt relieved. I still had the debt of money, but I didn't have that debt that was of, I'm not who I need to be. I'm not serving God like I need to serve Him. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I really was doing the right thing. And as I paid things off, it just became so evident that He was in it. Money would just show up. I would get refunds on things that I didn't expect. And it was just clear to me that He was blessing me because He was glad I was home. The process took about 20 months. From the time we made that decision at her kitchen table to that very last payment was exactly 20 months. And I would love to tell you that I have been consistent with this change. While I'll never be in credit card debt like I was before, sometimes I have realized that it's really about obedience. I haven't always felt that connection with God when I was giving that I had in those early years, but I know it's important. I know I'm His child. I know the money is His. And so I'm going to give it to Him because I'm going to be obedient.